Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to report that after all the drama, Subnautica 2 is a massive hit.
Good games win in the end. You love to see it. Yes, after years of players just begging to go back underwater, we crave the asphyxiation, it seems. And enough legal battles to kill a whole whale. Subnautica 2 has officially arrived in early access today. It's already blowing up on Steam. I don't know. Brian, you wrote blowing on Steam. What's going on?
It's shooting out of Steam's blowhole. Is that better? Keeping with the nautical reference. Yeah, so I found a release that said it sold more than 1 million copies in less than a day, which is pretty great. I mean, that's, what more do you want? 1 million copies. And I feel like at the same time as I looked at Steam charts, more than 460,000 concurrent players. That was just hours after it released. That made it the 4th most played game on Steam, behind the usual ones. You can rattle them off by heart: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and PUBG Battlegrounds.
Yeah, that number may actually undersell how massive Subnautica 2's launch is. The Steam player count doesn't include people playing through the Epic Games Store or on Xbox, where the game also launched in early access. So that's great.
Yeah, no, that's astounding. I didn't know it was that outrageous this quickly. Yeah, I think the biggest deal is that it's the 4th most played game on Steam, and it's a few hours after its early access launch on a Thursday afternoon. This is not even peak player numbers. Usually it waits until the first weekend, so we haven't even seen where this is going to go yet.
Yeah, but the huge debut didn't come out of nowhere. Before the release, Subnautica 2 reportedly racked up 5 million wish lists and was the most wish listed game on Steam. So there was a lot of excitement around it.
Yeah, of course. It's also the follow-up to 2 extremely well-received games, Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero, which are both fantastic, and they built a devoted fan base around underwater exploration, survival mechanics, and the constant fear that something gigantic, a Leviathan, is about to eat you.
Yeah, everyone's talked up these games so much. I meant to play the first one through before the sequel came out, but ran out of time. What you gonna do? But it is a nice redemption arc for this game, and there was a lot of drama along the way. We alluded to that earlier. Specifically, there was a very bitter legal fight between the developer Unknown Worlds and their parent company Krafton.
Yeah, in March, we reported about a judge reinstating former Unknown Worlds CEO Ted Gill after there were allegations that Krafton pushed out the studio leadership and delayed Subnautica 2 to avoid paying a potential $250 million bonus.
And now we know why, because the game is selling very well, and they're going to get their bonus. Yeah. Unknown Worlds founders Max McGuire and Charlie Cleveland, along with Gil, claimed they were removed after disagreements over the game's release timing, while Krafton argued the delay was about quality concerns. Cleveland disputed that, saying the team believed the game was ready for early access.
Seems he was right, yeah. The judge ultimately ruled that Krafton improperly removed the studio's leadership and extended the developer's bonus eligibility window into September 2026 and potentially beyond, but it doesn't seem like they're going to need it.
Yeah, and all that context makes the strong reception of the game a big deal. One of the arguments around the whole dispute was whether Unknown Worlds had been rushing the game out the door to secure their bonus, or whether Krafton had been intentionally delaying a game that was ready to launch to avoid paying this big bonus. No, they wouldn't do that. No.
Big companies delaying to save money? No, come on, they never do that. Either way, players have clearly shown up, and now, after months of lawsuits, executive drama, and accusations of sabotage, Subnautica 2 is finally out. And it's looking good.
Yeah, and man, hats off to the leaders of Unknown Worlds for successfully navigating this whole situation. They really held them, they managed it really well. They put out the right statements at the right time. They pursued all the legal action and found their remedies. It doesn't really turn out this way for the good guy that often, so we can all celebrate this one. And there's other reasons to celebrate, because it seems like the game's actually genuinely good. Early reviews are at least saying as much. There's no score up on Metacritic yet, but lots of outlets have really liked what they've seen in early reviews.
Yeah, IGN wrote that Subnautica 2 is well on its way to being an awesome evolution of one of my favorite survival games. There's plenty of reasons to dive in, including the start of a captivating story, the interesting and stressful depths to explore, and the addition of simple but effective multiplayer options.
Yeah, although they did add, quote, that the waters are pretty shallow at the moment, and it only takes a handful of hours to start seeing the work in progress walls that will eventually block your path. It is an early access game after all.
Makes sense, yeah. Game Reactor UK gave it an 8 out of 10, saying, "The oceans are eerie, and I don't think Subnautica 2 has lost what made its predecessors unique and great. You should be aware, however, that you get very little of the story, more of a starter than a main course and dessert."
And Insider Gaming, not to be confused with us, wrote, "After 15 hours of exploring an entirely new planet, building bases, and delving deeper into the ocean's mysteries, I walked away with one overwhelming feeling. I just want more of Subnautica 2.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will get it, because Subnautica did a great job when they first released the first one in early access. It took a long time for them to sort of build that out and start to make it a fully fleshed out game, but they did, and it is a really fantastic video game, and it's looking like Subnautica 2 is probably on the same course. There maybe even is more positive reviews. I need to look at Steam right now to check. Yeah, it's been out just for a couple hours. I want to say 3-4 hours now, and there's about 2,000 positive reviews. It is in the very positive category. So that's really good, because the first Subnautica launched in a pretty, I guess, under-completed state for an early access game, and Subnautica 2 is in early access, but very positive for the first couple hours is fantastic for Subnautica 2.
I was just wondering if this was like a shadow drop. Like, did they announce, like, we're going to release early access on this date, or was this a surprise? Like, it just seems to have come out of nowhere, but I didn't know if y'all had any info on that.
I think they gave it like a couple of weeks notice. You could preload it in the last few days. I know that. So it wasn't necessarily a shadow drop. People sort of knew it was coming, and I don't remember when they actually had said that it was going to be May 14th, but I want to say that was maybe a month or two previous from now. So it was like not a shadow drop, but people were getting excited for it, knowing that it was coming in the last couple months.
I want to play it because I liked the first one, and I hated any water levels or anything involving the water in video game before Subnautica. Like, it changed that for me. So I'm totally stoked to play this.
You know what? I'm actually weirdly happy to hear that it's just a teaser of a story, because this way I can just play that, and then once all the early access stuff kicks in, then I can go back and play the first game. I don't have to wait. So there's a lot of Subnautica for me to enjoy. Likewise, there's a lot more Inside Games for you to enjoy if you enjoyed our coverage here. We post all of our content for free on Patreon. We also post it for free on YouTube, but YouTube's weird. It can be hard to find stuff. And over on our Patreon, we post every episode with a free meme. So now it's just this really long list of free memes if you feel like scrolling memes all day. It's a lot better than doom scrolling, so check it out. Thank you very much for watching the episode. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. Recommend us to your friends if you haven't, or if you have any left. And thank you. We'll see you next time on Inside Games.